qualifying the race, not as great as it was previously. Raikkonen lock, and Bottas has got a chance. He's going to go past the Ferrari. Another mistake there from Kimi Raikkonen under braking. Now maybe it's the brake-by-wire system that's catching him out, I don't know. But whatever, Williams have got their car moving up through the field once again, and Bottas gains the place. He's up into 5th position now.
Well, we know from pre-season testing that Raikkonen's not been at all happy with the feel of his braking system. He also thinks that the Ferrari is lacking a bit of front grip for his liking. Here we go again, down into the braking zone at turn 9, grabs the brakes and then runs out onto the artificial grass, so fairly straightforward for Bottas. And here it is from his point of view. It was the front left, first of all, that he locked up, which is unusual because clearly you normally start to lock the inside wheel. Alonso in.
So Fernando Alonso comes in, and remember he's been running behind Hulkenberg. So let's see what happens when he rejoins with relation to Nico Hulkenberg. Where is the Force India? Well, it'll be just coming down the straight, but this is good for Alonso, and I think he's out ahead. Yep, looks like it. He's got out in front of the Force India and not far behind the McLaren. And Hulkenberg, of course, is on a run here. He's going to have a great opportunity to repass as they go down towards turn 3. Crucial maneuver coming up here. Will he go to the outside? Yes, he moves to the outside. Alonso protects the inside. Resilient stuff from Fernando Alonso.
He's not giving up, though.
Oh, he just hangs on to it.
Sorry, Ben. I thought he was going to try and hold it round the outside, but Alonso just gives him a little bit of a squeeze, but quality driving from both of them.
Yeah, Alonso wanted it so much, and Hulkenberg just couldn't quite do it.
So, Nico, just be aware there is maybe some light rain around, but it's not expected to get wet. Okay, not expected to get wet, but maybe a couple of drops.
That's good.
We're just planning to continue the stint at the moment.
I love when you get that dry rain. The wet stuff is really annoying.
Sutil, by the way, has just made his one pit stop, which presumably is his only pit stop. He's done a long old stint there, and in comes Ricciardo now. So, Daniel Ricciardo from 2nd position in this race, looking to perhaps make it to the end on the harder compound tyre. He puts the medium tyres on, and away he goes. And the other teams will have monitored that progress. In comes Bottas now, with Raikkonen chasing him. Again, a little lock-up, even coming into the pits.
Yeah, trying to win back a little bit the damage to Bottas. The Ferrari pit stops have been pretty slick, so will this be enough to get him back in front?
Kvyat also coming in for Toro Rosso. Another set of the mediums on, and away he goes, but he's still behind Bottas, so Ferrari were not able to regain that ground on the pit stop, and Kvyat maybe just dropping back a few lengths.
Yeah, Toro Rosso going out on the options. Incredible pit stop time there from Raikkonen, 2.2 seconds, but obviously good work as well from the Williams team.
Yeah, they must have been similarly fast to have got him out in front. So, pit stops made. That's their 2nd pit stop. Now, they could go to the end if these medium tyres deliver the kind of performance they want. Now, let's just see that pit stop again, on board with Bottas.
And he had a bit of a difficult dispatch from his box there, but still good work from the Williams team.
Yeah, must have been surprised by that. But Jenson Button is now in 4th.
Okay, Kevin, box this lap, confirm.
Magnussen coming in from 2nd place because, of course, Ricciardo has made a stop. Rosberg yet to make a pit stop. So Button in front of... this is Magnussen now coming in. So, Kevin Magnussen, so far, he hasn't put a wheel wrong in his Grand Prix debut. Could he be heading for a podium finish? Well, things are looking good so far. Puts a set of the harder tyre, the medium tyre on, and away he goes. Looks like he's been doing it for years, doesn't he, David?
Excellent stuff.
Now there is Ricciardo coming down the straight. Ricciardo will retake that position from Magnussen, and in the background you can see Button. So what a lift in performance this is for McLaren, how much they struggled and failed to get a podium last year, and now they're certainly on for at least one podium. They might even possibly get 2 out of it.
That's probably a bit too early to see the Braun effect.
Box.
So Rosberg will be coming in on this lap as well. Now the interesting thing is to see whether they can get enough performance out of these medium compound tyres to take them to the end of the race, and that's what they'll be hoping to do, I'm sure. Let's ride with Rosberg as he heads into the pits now.
Down to 60 kilometers an hour.
And it really does sound like a bag of nails on the speed limiter.
It does, and reading 54.5, I'm presuming that isn't a display to say what speed they're doing. He was quite deliberate in his positioning of the car there, getting it pushing a bit more to the left than would be normal.
Lovely stop. Releases the speed limiter and off he goes. Absolute perfection from the whole team there. And Nico Rosberg re-emerges, his lead fully intact. And right now things are looking good for him, but who's going to know if they're all going to make it to the end of this Grand Prix? Or will the gremlins strike before we get to the checkered flag? Rosberg then, the race leader, comfortably from Daniel Ricciardo in second place, but Red Bull still holding in there despite their worries over speed and reliability coming into this Grand Prix. Let's just take another look at that stop.
Yeah, it broke some of the shroud, the front right there as we look at it from left. Watch the shroud get broken.
Yes.
As the wheel went on. So again, these are things that you only really find out in the field. You would never be putting that wheel on with such energy and intensity through free practice as you do in the race. So that's unlikely to do too much damage to the cooling inside there, but clearly just the carbon a bit too thin for the purpose.
Jenson Button is currently 4.7 seconds behind his teammate, so he's got a little bit of work to do to catch up to Kevin Magnussen, but bearing in mind that Button started outside the top 10, this has been good progress from a man who's won here at Melbourne 3 times in the past. On board here with Daniel Kvyat, and Kvyat's currently in 10th place behind Kimi Raikkonen. All of them on a relatively new set of tyres now. And again, it's showing that Toro Rosso seem to have built a pretty good car.